Alright, the button I wanted to press though is the one that gets us into the video game. So let's hop on in to map number 1 on Everdream. We have spawning in the lower left hand corner our red Protoss player for Team GP. It is Super. And his opponent in the upper right hand corner in the blue, playing Zerg, it is Scarlett. Super doing the annoying probe. Scarlett just immediately sending that drone to the third base to counteract the damage that probe is trying to do. I'm going to take a look if Scarlett is currently on a team. The last I checked, actually, she wasn't. No team currently, which is pretty shocking. I can't imagine there aren't plenty of teams that would love to have Sasha as one of their members. Oh, did this drone come back? I guess the probe went up here and the drone came back. Just like the cat in that fabled story. This looks like it ended up being gas and pool first. Damn. So, Scarlett gonna put on some pressure. Super gotta be ready for this. We got a few lings out already, or on the way out rather. Only 2 though, to start with. But this will be a quick speed. Yeah, I think this speed's gonna come up a lot earlier than you're normally expecting. So we might see Scarlett just make a flood of Zerglings and attack this wall as speed finishes up. She's still mining gas as well, so potential for even a Baneling bust or something of that nature. Hello, Epic Eden. Good to see you in chat, my friend. Oh, these are live games. These are live games, baby. I'm actually casting. This is a replay of me casting, but the games are live. Okay, she does pull off gas now. She's up to 100 gas. It makes me wonder if that's going to be used for something, or if it was just getting some extra gas. And still only drones. Sling speed's on the way. It's yeah, just finished up. So okay, a lair and a roach warren goes down. Now this adept is gonna shade in. It's actually gonna finish that shade. Gonna get 2 drones? I don't know where Scarlett's looking right now, but this adept has killed 3 drones and it's gonna get out of there. She just must have been focused on something else. But yeah, Lair and Roachborn coming up. Are we gonna see a Nidus? Well, what's the plan here? There's some aggression coming. Ha! I muted the mic before I sneezed. Yeah, there's some aggression coming. We've got roach speed on the way. Yeah, I guess it's just gonna be roaches. There is a big glaives attack coming off of Super side. This has become pretty standard in this matchup. It's actually only 4 adepts right now. So I say a big glaives attack, but just the 4 adepts trying to shade in. They are gonna come up here. Oh, they don't go into the main. It's actually a big deal because that means that Super doesn't know. Oh no. Scarlett just taps out with the GG. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was going on there. That felt very strange from Scarlett. Just that opening with like the quicker ling speed And going into a lair and a Roach Warren and no third base, it felt very strange. I'm not sure. But, all right. We're going into game number 2. Simulacrum is going to be our map. Hopefully Scarlett shakes off game 1, shakes off the heebie-jeebies about losing that game, and we can pop into game 2 with a little more success. Yeah, I'm not sure if there was a plan that was foiled there. The Adepts coming in it's a big deal. Maybe she was worried that he was going to see that there was roaches on the way out, that there was no third base, and that was just going to be too much information for her attack to do anything. The world may never know. But we have spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Simulacrum. In the red for Team GP, it is Super. And his opponent in the lower right-hand corner, in the blue, playing Zerg, it is Scarlett. Now, Scarlett, I think, would be pretty favorited to win this tournament today. Of course, Parting and Zest stand in her way. But I wouldn't expect Super to be somebody to take Scarlett down here today. Just generally speaking. Not that Super, again, isn't a very good player, doesn't have the ability to take down Scarlett. But normally in a best of 3, I wouldn't guess that was going to be the case. Now this is a more normal opening from Scarlett, Hatch Gas Pool. And we'll see if Scarlett's just going to play a more normal game, get into that mid game, and then maybe go for the kill. I think she has more than the ability to take it to that mid game, but see, she's now down 1-0, so Super only has to win one of the next 2 games, which is a much easier feat, having already that 1 game under your belt and not really doing much for it. You know, it was just a quick glaives, 4 Adepts run across the map. Still very interested in what was going on last game. Probe's going to come up and scout. Things are very normal up here. Scarlett's got Ling speed on the way now. But first Adept being chronoed out, going to come across the map. We'll see, we're going to have a Stargate coming up here for Super. So likely going into a couple of Oracles, maybe getting a Phoenix out to clear out the Overlord. There's only 1 Overlord out here, very similar to last game for Scarlett. She's going to plant down that third base. Laying a little damage onto that Adept already. Yeah, things shaping up pretty much as you expect. Stalker walking across the map now. Stalker's a little less expected to walk across the map, I think, in this matchup. The Adept coming home. Should be putting up a wall pretty soon here, as Ling speed is about to finish. You got to know that timing in your brain and put that second gateway up. We do have our first Oracle out. Phoenix is already out, chilling around the map, looking for some Overlords. I think this one was actually in vision of Super for a little while. So the Phoenix, yeah, it's going to come back. And look at this Ling spread. This is something I've seen from a lot of Zergs, is getting a Ling spread like this. So you can kind of see what's coming. Ah, she moves them just before that the Oracle flies over. I don't think the Oracle's going to be a surprise, though. Ooh, but this Roach Warren, in a bit of a weird spot. There's a lair coming up now. Oh, nice cancel and remake on that Spore. Gonna have to do it one more time. Doesn't quite get it off that time, but 2 Spore cancels and 1 killed drone for all that Oracle energy. That is not bad at all. Lings are coming home now. Super is planting down a 3rd base behind this. Has another Glaives attack on the way. All gateways. There's no robo here, so there's not going to be any robotics facility. Oh my god, and that, my friends, is not a wall. I definitely assumed that was a wall until that probe just walked through there. If this game goes long, though, longer than this Glaives attack and these roaches coming out, there's a very real chance we see Scarlett go to run in some Lings later, and they just right on in there. That is a lot of adepts, though. How many adepts do we have out right now? 14. Scarlett needs roaches, like yesterday. Oh, I don't think she scouted this either. The sling was just outside of vision. And this is very dangerous right now. This is a lot of adepts. They're going to get right on top of some of the only units that are out, those Lings. Kill them before anything even begins. And here comes the first shade. There are a few roaches about to pop from these eggs, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Transfuse is going down on the queens. There's a few queens here. There's not much transfuse energy left. Queens are starting to die. Roaches are fighting this, so some of these adepts are going down as well. The adepts are now going to shade into the main base. Drones are going to have to be pulled here. Main base queen is going to go down. Roaches are going to want to stay on both sides and fight in the main as well as where the shades are. And Scarlett does that very successfully. Drones being targeted down now. How many drones is Scarlett going to lose? 11 drones. You know what? That is not bad. 3 queens is a little more painful, but losing 11 drones for 13 adepts, that's not bad at all. And she still has queens. There are still queens at, well, at least the main and natural. What's the queen count at? 4 queens. That is a very respectable amount of queens, especially since there's a Spire finishing up right now. She's moving across the field with roaches and Lings. Roach speed is finished, so these roaches are going to be pretty quick across the field. It's a nice stasis trap, could be very annoying. But behind this, there's a Bane nest coming up, +1 missile attacks, and that Spire is finished, so at any point, mutas could come out. Now, I think she's assuming Super saw that Spire and maybe is pumping out some Phoenix. That is not the case, though. He did technically see the Spire, but if he wasn't focused on it, which I'm sure he wasn't. Okay, so Blink is coming out, so that might be the more immediate response to seeing the Spire. But I think Scarlett really needs to do something. She's just not taking a 4th base. The worker count is in her favor, but not by a ton. Supplies are very similar at the moment. Take a look at the... Oh, no income graph. Feels bad. We got Immortals coming out. There's already 2 on the field, a 3rd one on the way out. Some creep going to be cleared. A lot of Ravagers being morphed. Bane speed on the way, so it's not going to be... It's not going to be mutas. She's instead going to go for the Roach, Ravager, Ling, Bane composition. It's a very strong composition. And this is going to get scouted, and if Super didn't see the Spire earlier, he'll be able to see it now for sure. Ooh, she's coming in for the wraparound. Roaches and Ravagers, some nice force fields delaying those units a little bit, but the Ling's starting to get on top of some of this. Oh, a few Stalkers coming from the south side. A Phoenix lifts up one of those Ravagers. And Super pushes Scarlett away. Again, that army supply is very, very close right now. That's not really where Scarlett wants to be. She's going to have to take a very good engagement. But against this many Blink Stalkers, it's actually pretty possible to get some good connections with Banelings. Fourth base is now up. Oh, this Oracle. That Oracle wanted to get some drone kills, but goes down for it, which is actually kind of a big deal. Super could have been using that for Revelations instead, and I think that would be a lot better on this army. Super's taking a 4th base now as well. Third base has a single cannon at it, but not a lot of defense. Oh. Stasis trap. They have time limits. More banelings on the way. 15 more banelings. The blink stalkers are coming in. Just gonna grab a creep tumor and head on out. But like any good Zerg, kill one creep tumor. Scarlett's gonna make 2 more. Ling's looking for something here. I'd love to see these Lings run into the natural. Again, I want to know if this little opening in the wall is gonna end up meaning anything, if it's gonna end up mattering. Scarlett's got a 5th base on the way down. Her hive is finished. She's actually got Adrenal on the way at the same time as +1 melee. That's not something you see very often. Super is only on +2 attack right now, just starting at +3. So he's not all that far ahead of Scarlett's upgrades. I mean, obviously +1 isn't great, but she will have +1 on both the roaches and the lings. The next step is going to be Greater Spires. Already Corruptors coming out. She's got some empty supply and some money right now. And that Spire, the Greater Spire is going to mean Broodlords. So then you get the fun balance. Banelings trying to get some damage done. Not doing all that well. Too many cannons there. The fun balance of the units here. The Stalkers want to blink underneath the Broodlords. But the Banelings will be sitting there saying absolutely not. Ling's looking for that counterattack. Now that they have Adrenal, or I guess it's almost done. Once they have Adrenal, they'll do crazy damage to this. Ooh, a big warp in his Zealots though. Which honestly isn't that bad for Scarlett. Zealots aren't really the best units to fight what she has coming. Broodlords morph right as Super starts pushing across the map. Super is maxed. Actually has more supply than Scarlett at the moment, but Scarlett is making 38 Lings behind this. The Broodlords are going to start hitting. Super, you just can't fight this right now. Looks like he's going to try to walk around. Zealots get taken out by the Banelings, by the Lings around. Scarlett is rotating to try to take care of this. This army isn't quite enough to fight Super on its own. There's too many force fields. You really need these Broodlords in the sky. Behind this is a second Stargate going down. Second Forge. No Fleet Beacon, though. Alright, there's some of those big force fields we were looking for. But the Banelings still get through a little bit. Oh, they're trying to get on top of this. There's so many force fields, but I don't know if it's enough. Banelings are crashing through. That was an expensive fight there for Scarlett. And there's a lot of Stalkers left over. They're going to try to blink on top of these Broodlords. Ooh, that Fungal misses the blink. Goes through. There's nothing to shoot up to kill this Phoenix. We need like a queen. Is this Phoenix going to kill a Broodlord, guys? If this Phoenix kills a Broodlord... No, okay, it's switch targets. Please, at least Violet. It's doing so much damage. So, this actually would make it way easier for the Stalkers to kill these Broodlords right now. Fortunately for Scarlett, Super has gone home to his 4th base. He's got double Stargate up, so it's actually Void Rays coming out because I don't see a Fleet Beacon. Okay. There's actually 2 Fleet Beacons. Just for posterity's sake. I'm gonna get Flux Veins and continuing to get Void Rays out. And 2 more Stargates. I don't know if I like this, but at the same time, if Scarlett doesn't know, okay, she's gonna scout with this Overseer now. That's gonna be a key scout, because if you're not expecting a bunch of like Flux Veins Void Rays with +1 to come at you, there's gonna be some weird repercussions there. Void Rays actually are one of the few units that can kill Corruptors. Oh, this Warp Prism taking a lot of damage before it gets into the main base. There's another Spore here. That's gonna take it out. Spores do massive single target damage. Super trying to take this 5th base. Creep spread being cleared up. Scarlett is taking the 6th base up here, which is actually, it might spread her a little thin with this kind of army. You usually don't want to have such base disparity, but it's difficult on this map. This base isn't necessarily good to take, nor is this one. So she's going to grab this one up here. Now we've got our first carriers on the way out. 4 carriers. We're going into the late game. Vipers coming out. Corruptors coming out. +2 for those Corruptors. +1 Carapace coming up. And +3 melee. Scarlett's been pumping out those upgrades. Both players been going crazy on the upgrades. We got a big Lynx around, but the Zealots get warped in. Stalkers and Void Rays chasing these Lings away, turning it into an expensive trade. And actually, Super's going to go on the offensive a little bit here. Going to come into this base, and Scarlett does not want to fight this without her whole army here. This base is going down, and this is what I'm talking about. It's hard for her to fight these kinds of armies without the Broodlords. This army is much more mobile, particularly with the Void Rays and the Blink Stalkers. So the Lings now coming into the 4th base. Oh, there's no more warp in. Super is completely maxed. Going for the recall instead. Lings are kind of just fighting these Stalkers. Maybe Scarlett wants to free up supply for some more Broodlords is actually the answer here. And she still has some open supply available for something. Super rotating down towards the south. The entire army is here. Scarlett knows it. She's coming down to meet it. Parasitic Bomb and Fungal going down on the Void Rays. Oh man, and some Biles getting some great connections as well. These Void Rays are already so low. Biles going down, killing a lot of those Void Rays. Scarlett taking a great start to this fight, but this base may still go down. Despite the so far fantastic army trade. Oh, but there's a big Fungal on top of the carriers. And the carriers get taken and biled down. And that is massive. That is a huge part of Super's army that is just gone now. These Zealots are running into Spine Crawlers. Scarlett gooping up the remaking carriers. Stalkers are still here being annoying. These Blink Stalkers have actually been very good, but they definitely lose value as the game goes on. Once you get to these big army kind of fights, the Blink Stalkers just don't have the oomph of other units. But they can find value in pretty much any situation. Transfuse is going down. Queens, stay alive. I think one went down actually, but let's take a look at that resources lost. It's actually very close right now, but 4 carriers going down is pretty massive. It's pretty massive. There is a Dark Shrine out, so we could see some DTs being warped in and used in cheeky ways. There's no detection over here at this base. No spores or spines. Scarlett retaking the 5th and 6th. I think that's the biggest thing here, is even that Ling run by that did some good damage. Scarlett has lost 2 bases recently. And here comes the DTs. First one goes to the 6th base. Second one is going straight into the natural. There is nothing here. Where is this clicked on? Okay, it's just gonna kill some drones in the natural base. Just trying to pull Scarlett in multiple directions. Oh man, and Mama is moving towards the top side. Is Mama gonna recall? Well, Mama's gonna run into an Overseer. That's the last thing that she wants to hit right now. And it just feels like this map is a little too big for this army that Scarlett has centered her force around. The Broodlord and Fester Viper. So these run-bys have actually been doing some really solid damage. This one not going to do all that well. 5 Spine Crawlers and a Spore. DTs and Zealots, you're going to need a lot to get on top of that. And this army for Super has built back up. It is once again very, very powerful. We got a lot of storms underneath, a ton of storms, as well as feedbacks. Feedbacks very notable because they'll kill all the energy from these units. And actually, if the infestors are full, I think they're the only unit that dies from a feedback. Is that true? Yeah, look at that. 200 energy and 90 health. A full energy feedback will do 100 damage. That is a dead infester. Oh, we've got ourselves a little bit of lag. All right, that felt like a little more than a little bit of lag. Hopefully a minor issue. I have heard there's some server issues going on. Super is taking this lower left-hand 7th base. Wait, 6th base. 6th base, excuse me. Spinecrawler is not coming up. Scarlett's going to have to come defend this with the army. Let's get a few more lings up here. They will clean that up, though. Adrenalings are pretty good. Banelings crashing into those zealots. Right now, Scarlett's bank is very gas heavy. This is generally good for her composition. Is to have that gas bank to continue making infestors and vipers and things like that. But stalkers are going to blink in. I don't know how much I like that blink in, but she is getting some good value on these Ravagers. Or rather, Super's getting good value on the Ravagers. Taking them out. Probably didn't want those stalkers anymore anyways, replacing them instead with more carriers. More zealots trying to come in, but the army is still here. Lots of cannons at this base as well, but all this has bought him plenty of time. Oh man, a massive fungal on top of these ghosts. Storms are going down, but all the High Templar, excuse me, I said ghosts, wrong matchup. All the High Templar go down. How many were just killed there? What do we got? 8 have gone down. I think it was all in that matchup. But as a big recall to that mothership on the lower side, and this base is going down. Scarlett has to wait until her spellcasters get here. Taking out some of the Void Rays to start with, then Mama's getting yoinked. Grabs the Void Rays as well. Actually, a very nice cleanup there for Scarlett, but she once again loses this base. It has been non-stop. These bases just feel like they continually go down. But again, a very nice cleanup there from Scarlett. Her use of these spellcasters has been expert in this game. A bunch more High Templar warped in, so we still have 6 High Templar. And a DT in this army. This is a very powerful army from Super, but you really can't underestimate the power of Infestor, Corruptor, Viper. Especially with these Brood Lords to take care of those High Templar. I'd love to see an Archon or 2 to protect them. I think it's actually a really important part of this army, is getting an Archon or 2. And you know, funnily enough, that mothership, it wasn't useless. That recall to kill this base and then get away with the carriers. Actually, I think ended up working out pretty well here for Super. He's going to come back in just as this base is coming back up. Really got to watch the feedbacks here. Oh, the Infestor's looking for that fungal. Not quite going to find it just yet. Oh, all right. Parasitic Bomb and a fungal goes off. Big fungal on the High Templar once again, but the Brood Lords are a little far away to capitalize on it. We're going to need to see further fungals. Oh, man, the High Templar get away. All in the orange health. I think one more fungal there actually kills them. And here are some oracles out now for the tags as well. This is something that is very key, especially if we see any Tempests come out. We haven't seen any Tempests just yet. Super rotating up to the top side once again. Scarlett trying to take this base is not going to happen, but it does buy time. While this army focuses up here, Scarlett can rotate around. Zealot's not enough to crack the spine forest we have at the top. Ooh, Oracle's getting a little bit overzealous there. They get a tag off, but they die for it. I think they're actually yoinked by the Vipers. I just looked over and saw them in the middle of the army, and I was like, I don't know where they were going. Supra's moving right around the top side, but this is all seen by a creep. Where is an observer? I'm not sure. Oh, there's Hydras out now. Hydras are that's a strange choice to me. I guess this is just supposed to be part of the mobile defense. This is Army 1, this is Army 2, is what we have going on here. Scarlett setting up more static defense. I think she's just trying to be cost efficient as possible. You can see that gap is starting to widen a little bit. It's at about 6,000 minerals right now. If they both mine 6 bases and she's more cost efficient, that will end up better for Scarlett in the long run. Void Ray's taking a good bit of damage from the Parasitic Bomb fungal combination, but none of them die. So they will be there for later battles. And so far, it just feels like the most Super can do is take out some creep, take out a fringe base. But now with the Spore Crawler Force coming up to complement the spines, it's going to be even harder to push into these bases. He's rotating around constantly, trying to pull this army out of position. DT's hitting the natural. There's no units to kill here. Oh, they could have taken out that base. I'm going to go for the morph to an Archon, but that's not going to work. I like that storm. That was a good storm right there. Stasis traps being set up so that if she tries to follow him in, it doesn't work. Scarlett is rotating towards the top side, though. While she's not being attacked, she's going to go ahead and try to take some advantage herself. Oh no, put the Banelings over here. Oh no. Not quite enough Hydras to fight this Void Ray army, and those Flux Veins really paying off. Those Void Rays getting here to defend very quickly. Super's taking this base down here, at the same time denying the same base at the top side for Scarlett. Scarlett's going to try to hit it with some Lings, perhaps. I don't know if she's realized that it's there yet. No, she doesn't even realize. There's a lot of stasis traps here that are going to catch Lings, but Hydra's coming in. Another trap gets destroyed, and that base is forced to be canceled. It will get taken out. Where is Super's army? Where is it going to go? Scarlett is protecting this base towards the top side, mostly protecting this base. She is pulling the army a little bit south now. Oh, there's another mothership out. Mama's here to cloak everybody. So that means Scarlett really can't fight this without the Vipers to yoink that, but of course there are plenty of Vipers here with plenty of energy. And minus 400. Minus 400. Oh, it gets a time warp off, guys. Let's do the time warp again. Spore Force getting absolutely deleted by these Void Rays when they turn on. Damn, yeah, Scarlett needs to get some spellcasters up here, but she needs the Broodlords to push away the High Templar. This is where the delicate balance comes in. Oh no. Alright, there are the Broodlings coming down trying to take out those High Templar. And full army battle versus full army battle. I think Scarlett just absolutely crushes. Oh my god, massive fungals and parasitic bombs. How many High Templar are there? I don't think there's any left. The Broodlings just crushed through them. And with this spellcaster use, Neural's going down as well. And I think these Corruptors are just about to smash through absolutely everything. Super is down to 90 supply. And this right here is why Super wasn't taking a heads-on battle the entire game. He also lost a base at the top side that we didn't even see. And Scarlett takes game number 2. Extremely long game. That was a fun one. That was a fun one. All right, we're getting into game number 3. It's going to be on Golden Wall. Oh man, I hope Scarlett has a special build for us. I hope Scarlett has a Jake build on Golden Wall. A no regret build. That's what we really need. Alrighty. Thank you guys for all the follows. I hope you're enjoying just the start of the day. This is round 1. This is the first round. Oh man, and base trade rating 137 lovely people that were hanging out in base trades chat. Thank you for that raid, my friend. All right, I'm gonna change the score and we're gonna hop in to Golden Wall for game number 3. Spawning on the left hand side, a red Protoss player for Team GP. It is Super. And his opponent on the right in the blue, playing Zerg, it is Scarlett. Now this base, you get some cheeky options with gold bases. You go for the double gold base. You of course have the behind the mineral lines options. This map I think is quite good for Swarm Host Nidus, just because if Protoss doesn't clear these minerals, even if Protoss does clear these minerals, there are just so many different locations to hit from that make it so difficult for the Protoss to defend. Because really, until this gold base is mined, moving between the natural and the main, or the natural and the third base, if you took this as a third base, becomes very difficult with these minerals still here. Once they're gone, all of a sudden you get really nice rotation. But we'll see if any of that comes into play. Scarlett is opening normal so far, as is Super. Going for those standard openings. Watching you guys enjoy the end of that last game. That is my favorite part of the delay. Just getting to see you react in chat a couple minutes later to the ending of a game, especially when it's like that. Very, very satisfying to see what that Zerg army can really do to the Protoss army, and it really shows you why Super just kept sending Zealots to one base or DTs to one base, moving around with the Void Rays, trying to get some kills off, and just trying to deny bases as much as possible. Rather than fighting straight up. That fight, it was almost like he gave up at the end. He was like, all right, let's fight. And we saw exactly why the Protoss doesn't want to fight the Zerg with that kind of army, especially somebody like Scarlett, who just has such fantastic control with those late game armies. I mean, that was really an excellent display of how to control a late game army from Scarlett. Now it's going to be a long time before we get to those compositions again. I want to see what third base each of these players plans to take.
Chicken man, chicken man, chicken man, 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 man.
Thank you, The Dark Angle, for gifting that sub to Foyd. Welcome, Foyd. Hope you enjoy your emotes. Roach Warren coming down now. All right, still sitting on 2 bases. Getting that lair up. It's about to finish, actually. And you know what there is on this map? We'll see if the Overlord's going to head this direction. But there's this little spot in the main base, and you know what fits perfectly right here is a Nidus Worm. Now, I don't know if that's exactly what she's going for. It looks like it might be a Nidus just right out here. You send a few drones in, and you can mine out the wall. That's going to be very interesting, actually, because I feel like that's the plan. She could also Nidus out here, or even just in the natural base. That might be the second Nidus location, if this is the first. But this Overlord very specifically was sent across. So far in game 1 and 2, only one Overlord went to the other side of the map. Let's take a look at what Super might have to defend here. There's a Warp Prism out, and an Immortal coming out, +1 on the way. That's actually probably the best defense. You don't see Robo openings all that often, but having an Immortal and a Warp Prism might be a very good defense here. Infestation Pit coming up? Okay, so it's not just going to be a Roach Nidus like I expected. It is going to be Swarm Hosts. 2 base Swarm Hosts? Scarlett is crazy. And we have a single Immortal in a Warp Prism, which should be able to see all of this. Let's check this vision. Okay, the Nidus has been seen. Observer goes down. And actually, it looks like Super's just gonna walk across the map right now. Second Immortal pops out. First Nidus is coming up, but I think Scarlett's gonna need this to defend. I don't think she's gonna be ready for this. This is just Sentry Immortal coming across the map. Oh my god. All right, there are some queens and roaches here. The Swarm Hosts have stayed at home, so they're gonna pop the Locust out. Locust not being very effective in the fight. And this is exactly what Super wants. These Locusts trying to fight the army instead of attacking his base. And he's planting down a gold base behind this. Not only taking a nice quick third, kind of brazenly against Scarlett here, but taking that third gold base. This is very strange. +1 missile attacks is getting pretty close to finishing up here, so it should be 1-1 on those upgrades. But this is a strong army here from Super, and a lot of force fields available. The Locusts are going to come out once again. They are starting to do some damage, but not really getting the kills. There's one Swarm Host on the other side of the map. Has 8 kills. I think those are all probes. More Locusts going to be sent across. And another Nidus comes up down here. Ooh, one Stalker can hit it. A little bit of a mistake. Still some Swarm Hosts sitting at home, waiting for the defense. So far, Scarlett's defense has been pretty solid, but the Swarm Hosts are still on cooldown for another few seconds. One single Locust. I'm gonna die. All right, this is a lot of Adepts coming up now. Glaives isn't finished yet, but it is about to be. I don't even know if this many Locusts is gonna be enough to stop this. All right, a few of them pop out. Double Adept shading into the main base, and Scarlett is in some trouble right now. That being said, there's Locusts being annoying on the other side of the map, but they're really not getting all that much done, and Super is mining from the gold base, and that means the resupply with Adepts is gonna be absolutely massive. Roaches trying to follow these shades into the main. 2 of them finish. Well, I'm not going to get too many drones. So far, really nicely played here from Scarlett. The Nidus goes down, which means anything in these worms is now dead. I don't think there was anything in them. Oh, not dead, excuse me. Just trapped wherever it is. It only dies if both sides go down. Scarlett now mainly focused on Roach Ravager's defense, but still no third base. Looks like she wants to take this one back here. She mined out the backside minerals, but no third base here for our Zerg player. Now she is being as cost efficient as possible, but the mineral income that Super is mining right now is actually incredible. Oh, and killing more drones. How many drones have gone down this game? 16? 16 drones going down, 17. Only 12 probes died to those Swarm Hosts. Scarlett, she's in a real bad spot right now. Swarm Hosts going to be very helpful here, but I don't know if it's enough to come back from this. They're gonna come over here now. Maybe try to send some Locusts into the main base. They could also try to hit the backside of this mineral line. Honestly, if she sends them into here, she might be able to snipe this Nexus off. Couple of locusts hitting on this side. That Nidus worm head goes down. Locust gonna go into the main base. There are some units here to defend, but not enough to actually kill this many locusts. They're going straight for the probe line, it looks like. Gonna kill an awful lot of probes. The entire main mineral line has been destroyed. Even focusing down a couple of these gas mining ones, and it looks like she's ready. Yeah, she's seen it now for sure. To send some locusts up towards this way, but we have DTs. 2 being dropped into the backside of the natural. Oh, the war prism's gonna go down though. And there is detection down here. Couple drones might go down. Ooh, these swarm hosts are in a tough spot though. They gotta be careful. They do not want to die to this army. The locust being spawned should be able to take out this nexus. Yeah, focus down the nexus. Oh man, but the swarm host caught on the top side here, and Super's gonna go for them. Killing these swarm hosts, these are Scarlett's only chance back into this game. Make no mistake, killing all these workers, killing that nexus is great, but she needs more than that, and she's losing tons of drones herself. Super's on 43 probes, Scarlett is down to 30 drones, and it's only gonna get worse. There's not enough roaches down here to fight this many glaive adepts. And they're just gonna shade away. Scarlett is in a world of trouble. Well, the locusts are getting some good damage done on this army. These ones are not doing all that much at all. With so many swarm hosts going down, just dying here. And I think with those swarm hosts dying, might just be the end of what Scarlett is able to do here. I think that's pretty much it. There's 2 more swarm hosts in the main base. He's gonna come up and kill those. He's got a 3rd base on the way towards the top side. Scarlett's re-droning, but even so, it's 46 probes to 41 drones. And her army is now Ravager. It is Ravager. She did replant that Nidus, so we could see some fancy Nidus play, but make no mistake, Scarlett is playing from behind this game. And Super, I don't think he's going to sit around too much longer. He has lost a lot of sentries. All right, so one thing I didn't really take into account, the amount of sentries that have been lost. 4, I think. I think he only made 5, so there's 1 sentry left. And against this many Ravagers, well, we'll see how it goes. 7 more roaches on the way. +2 is about to finish for Scarlett. This may not be the best timing here for Super. Bunch of biles going out. Are there more swarm hosts? Did she make more swarm hosts? There's only these 2. So maybe just going to try to be annoying with the Nidus and like 2 swarm hosts at a time. Oh, here goes 1 Nidus. It's going to scout that there's a base there. It's a good scout to have. Oh, and now Scarlett has to divide and conquer with these forces. Oh, we got some lag once again. Oh, man. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Renegade X leaving the game. He did mention that he was having some internet issues earlier. That is really unfortunate. I hope he's able to get those sorted. Swarm hosts don't really do much on this. In this case, Nidus goes down. But you know what? I think Scarlett survived the scariest moment in time. That was it. That was the scary moment, was Super pushing across the map after all the swarm hosts died. But she had enough Ravagers for defense. And now we're in kind of a weird spot for Super, who he just doesn't have the army anymore to deal with this. He needs to tech up. He needs to get to the next stage of things, because I don't think this kind of army is actually going to stand up to this much Roach Ravager. And now Scarlett back on her feet, making more swarm hosts. This one's going to be 4, but there's 4 more on the way. And it's just going to get worse and worse for Super, as Scarlett is now going to be hitting from both sides. Oh, is that enough to kill this Nexus? She doesn't target it down, so it's not going to be enough. Killing the probes instead. Lots of probes going down. Super down to 39. That is absolutely brutal. And now the bottom side swarm hosts. A few locusts going to pop here. Should be able to protect these from the stalkers. This one so low, but the stalkers have to leave. And now the Ravagers hit on the backside. They can kill this Nexus. And they are going to. And there goes. Stalker's not enough. Zealot's ravaging the mineral line of the 4th base, though. Scarlett expanding down to the bottom side. Another Nidus popping. Actually, I think this might just be the same Nidus. These Zealots still finding some good damage, but Swarm Hosts sending their Locusts up to the top side base once again. And Super now, he's in a rough spot. I think he's just going to go straight for the attack. He's got a lot of Blink Stalkers. I really feel like he needs to get some damage done. He's at least going to be able to take out this 4th base, but meanwhile, his 3rd base goes down. So he is long distance mining a gold. And I just don't think he can break up this ramp. He's going to go for the big blink up to the high ground. But that means there's no blink to move those stalkers back. And without that... Ooh, all right. They're going to blink on top of those Ravagers. Take a nice trade there. The offensive Nidus Worm pop while you're defending. But we've got a ton of DTs running into the natural base, as well as Blink Stalkers still hitting this side. Oh, there's Fungals out. DT is absolutely crushing this economy right now. They're being detected as they kill everything. But in the meantime, more Locusts just killing stuff in this main base. The Swarm Host will get on out of there, and the DTs are killed. I was gonna say pushed away, but that's a War Prism. DTs are dead. Could warp in more DTs and take out this building 4th base. Scarlett's economy is not good. It is not good. I can't show you the income graph right now, but it has been incredibly back and forth. And they're at the same worker count right now. Super's got another 3rd base coming up, but it's not up yet, and these minerals are getting so low. I don't even know how worth it it's going to be. Let's take a look at who's been more cost efficient. Look at, it's actually so similar, the cost efficiency here. Behind this, there are some Archons being morphed, but still no further tech. Super just doesn't have the money to afford it. It's just going to be charged on a Mortal Archon for right now. I don't think we're really going to see Storm. Yeah, there's no Storm out. There's no Storm on the way. Oh, and the Locusts come in. They're going to force a cancel on this base. You have to cancel it. It was about to finish, and Super forced to cancel that 3rd base once again. I really feel like, despite the fact Scarlett lost a base, Scarlett lost a bunch of drones, I feel like she never lost control of the game. There was never a point where it felt like Super could actually kill her. There's just been too much Roach Ravager on the map. She's been very good at keeping that army supply up high enough, and now we've got Lurkers being morphed, which is actually kind of insane. There's a hive, there's a Lurker den. This game has been so scrappy, but Scarlett is still only on 50 workers, but at least on 4 bases now. Oh, another force cancel on this base toward the top side. Yeah, the Nidus is going to go down, but who even cares at this point? Archon hitting this base, but there's Roaches in the mineral line. Another Nidus going to be going down. Archons are pushed away. They don't have shields left. Oh, man. Super, it's felt like the slow death of a Protoss that was ahead. Finally, Super has a 3rd base up. But at this point, 3 of these mineral patches are like about to run out. And he's already so oversaturated. 26/12. And now, how long is this 3rd base going to last, you guys think? Well, there you go. He's not oversaturated anymore. Oh, but the 3rd base is dead. Once again, and Super just stuck on 2 bases. And let's take a look at that army supply. It's inflated because of Roaches and Swarm Hosts, but it's 56 to 139. And that is, it's not a weak 139. All right, there's roaches, there's ravagers, there are lurkers, there's infestors, and of course, there are the hell muffins. Queen spreading creep. Super's gonna hit at the top side where Scarlett is now at the bottom side. She's gonna have to rotate back up towards the top. But I think Super's army just feels like absolutely nothing. Fungals, Biles, another fungal, another fungal. This base might go down up here. I don't know if Scarlett brought enough units. Oh, okay, there are a couple of lurkers with this army. And there's no detection. No detection. Oh, don't fight into the lurkers. Please, Super, please. That's GG. Seeing the lurkers, losing his army. And Scarlett takes an absolutely insane game number 3. You know what? After seeing how she fights back from what I would say was very far behind in that game, I'm not sure why she left game number 1. To be honest with you.